This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, welcome to Cloud Training for Enthusiasts. My name is Patrick Aigbo, and today we are going to be emphasizing on Git and GitHub. And we had a break last week, and we are back. Now, today we try to just move a little fast and more hands-on. So, and we have few people in class today compared to our normal class. I believe others will join. So, having said this, thank you so much. I think that will be a part of the recording. Okay. Last time when I created a file, a bash script, then we played with it using VS Code, and we use Visual Studio Code, and we played along. We created one file created another file, one file triggering another file. You understand? And it was fun all through. But the concept of that class was actually to introduce us to the word source code. So a source code is a line of instruction that is in a document. And whenever you run that line of instruction, something is expected to happen. You understand me? An application is expected to be built, an infrastructure is expected to be created, an instruction is expected to be given to a computer to perform a certain task. You understand me? That file that you created is called as a code file or a source code file. So it could be, you could decide to write an application. You want it to perform a certain thing. You can decide to make that file that you've written open to everybody. To say, okay, I was able to use this line of code to perform this task. So if you want to use it, you can decide to work on it and continue to improve on it. So that kind of file becomes an open source because you made it open for everybody to use. But there are so many laws that bind open source. Now, one, before anybody uses it, you cannot, if you want to use it, you have to just download the last updated version. And for you to contribute to the version, you have to raise a request. You understand me? From you writing your code. So I cannot create a file and version A, and you go and write on that version A. The only way you can write on version A is for you to make a request to me that you want to add to my version. You understand me? So there are so many. One of the reasons why Git is also very, very fascinating is that one file like this, you will be having 5 versions, but you will not know only when you are switching from one version of the file to the other. That's when you know that you are actually changing file. But from looking at it from your Windows, you will think you are actually working on the same file. So let me explain this concept to you. I'll explain the concept to you. So we're going to be creating, working on it. Then I'm going to give you an assignment. Then after today's class, I'm supposed to add you to a group, add you to one group. But with the look of things, we are not many. We can just maintain one group. Or we can maintain just 2 groups. Okay. Let's come here. Hold on. Control-T, give it a minute. Hold on. Okay, for example, now, this is To demonstrate the function, one of the important of Git, let me open this VS Code. If you can decide to open it on your system, so you can open it. Let's demonstrate this concept. For example, now this is a file. This is a file, and you can see I have so many files, so many things written on it. This was the one we used last time, right? Okay. Now let's create a folder. Now let's call this Git lab. Put it on that pilot or two. Okay. Now this is a GitLab. So under this GitLab, let me open my terminal here. Okay, let's just create a simple script. Let's call it git script.sh. Sorry. Let's use touch now. Touch git script.sh. Okay, it's going to be here. I'll put in, you see the git script.sh. Is that this file? You remember, you know what I did now? I just created this file now. This is the file. Let's write on this file. Let's say echo, just a simple echo, welcome to Git lab. Let's close it. Let's save. Now, if I say ls, see that ls, sorry. Say ls, you see the file is here. If I say cat git script, see, I've not saved it. Okay, let me save it here. This file saved. Run it again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now let's run. Welcome to Git. Then if I run this script, let's say if I run this script, I said dot git, dot slash git. Let's just change the mode. Change mode u plus x git script. Let's execute it. Git script. You're saying welcome to GitLab, right? Now, this file, this is a single file. Normally, if I want to change things inside this file, I will come here. I'll say echo git updated. Git script. Let's say git script updated. Now, if I save, I come here again, I run it. I run the script again, you see, it will tell you, welcome and git script updated. So if I want to go back to the one I wrote before, I don't want this one to be there. What will happen is that I have to delete this one, right? If I delete this one, that's the only way this one will happen. But if I want to go back, if I delete it, I want to go back to the ones I've done before, what will happen is that I will have to rewrite it again. So this process became an issue, especially if we are working into collaboration. Maybe I'm working and you are also working on the same file. What will happen is that I will delete it. While you will collect the file, you will put it back, then became an issue. So this is where the concept of Git comes in. Now, why don't create one single file? And that file, everybody can create a version from that file and work on that file separately. So this Git that we are enjoying now, it took time for them to be able to create it. It was not that easy. They just try and read about the history of Git and GitHub. So if you see a long of discussion that took place, high length of discussion, but I won't want to bore us with those things. But I would recommend, because the more you read about the history of something, the better it becomes for you. You understand me? So this is it. For example, now this is where we stopped last time. Okay, let's assume I want to create a new stuff. So this is what Git does. A Git will create a file like this. Let's call this the main file. So immediately you initiate Git into this. What Git will do, it will create another folder. That folder, you may not be able to see it. It will not be visible. It will not be visible. We'll call it Git folder. So what Git will do is that it will keep this folder, one of this folder here, one of this file, this main file. It will keep it here. Let me just do like this so that you will know that it's keeping it here. Let me put it like this. So what it will happen is that it will create this file here. This main file that you see here, it will create one of the files inside this folder. So anytime you want to work on this folder, you want to create a branch. What Git will do, Git will duplicate this file. And call this branch will be called main branch. This will be main branch for this main file. So immediately you want to create another branch. It will create another branch again of that main file. We will call that branch any name you want to call it. You can call it branch master, or maybe dev. Branch dev. This one will become main branch. This will become branch dev. But this same file that we created at that time, what do we name? Okay, let me just call the name of the file. We name it Git. Excuse me. Please a minute. This call is very important. Can you hear me? Resume recording. Good. So what will happen is this Git folder that is here, it will create another branch of this folder. We call the name of this our application. What do we call it? Git script, Abi? Script.sh. Please take note of this illustration. If you understand it clearly, you don't have any issue again. Understand me? So this script, the first one you created, Git will call it main branch. So you can decide to create that same script. You create another branch called dev branch. What Git will do, Git will create another file called dev branch, and it will put it inside this Git folder, call it branch dev. So, but what will happen is this: whatever branch you want to work on will be the branch that will show, that you will see. For example, if you are working on this is the branch that I created, okay, and you guys want to work on this branch, I will say, okay, don't work on this branch, because why? I've already written my script here. If you want to modify, create a branch, maybe Julius create another branch called branch dev of the same file. Git will hide, whenever you want to work on this file, Git will hide this inside this folder. Whenever you want to work on this file, Git will also take this file and hide this. So therefore, Whatsoever line I write in this script, in this file, will be the last line I will be here. Whatsoever line you write in this file will be the last line I will be here. But this switching happens automatically. You understand me? This scripting happens automatically without you knowing. You understand? This scripting happens automatically without you knowing. So that process is what people don't understand. Please give me like 3 minutes. Just give me like 3 minutes. Just give me like 3 minutes. We're going to demonstrate it so that I want to clear all my distraction. And you guys will be a bit patient with me. So let me review again. Whenever you create a file and you commit that file to Git, a Git will create that file, that version of that file you created, to create a folder called .git folder. It's actually called .git. It's going to be, it's always in every Git folder, any repository. Then that .git repo folder, it will take that file that you created to put it there. Then it will wait. Whenever you create any branch, a version will be created. The branch that you are working on will be the one that will appear. The other branch, it will also take it and hide it. So it will look as if you are working on one file, but it actually is not one file. It's actually the number of files you are creating. So that file that you created in that Git folder is called a version of that file. For example, I created this file, then I want to work on this file. I don't want everything that is in this file to get corrupt, to get missing. I will create a branch of this file. It will be like another folder. Then everything in this file will be here. The last thing I added to this file will be here. Then I'll work on this file. Then immediately I finish working on this file, I can decide to add this file back to this file. What will happen is that Git will look at what is here and what is here. What is not here, Git will carry this and add it. It will call it, that's called merging. To merge it, will now keep this file. But whenever I'm using the Git folder, it's only the branch that I'm working on that will appear here. So that is it. So the reason why they do this is that some developers may have a code that they copy from somewhere, or that somebody wrote, like the leader have written. It will keep this file here. They will say, okay, junior developers or other developers, I want you to continue to work on the features. So for them not to make mistake, they will take a copy of this. That will be called the branch. And they will continue to work on this branch and be testing this branch. When this branch is successful, they will now raise a pull request and tell the developer that, oh, so the lead developer, this is what we have added to your file. If it's okay, the lead developer will now merge it. But if it's not okay, the lead developer will tell them, please correct this and correct this and correct this. You understand? Sometimes when you are even merging, if this file, it says A, like let's say this file say you are welcome, and the first line here is also saying you are welcome, Git will tell you that there's a conflict. Because why? The file here and what you just added is going to conflict with what you have. So you are supposed to improve on what was given to you. You're not supposed to remove everything that was given to you. But there's a way you can also do that. But let's not confuse your house. So the thing is that this is what Git does. It creates every file you create. You create that file, another separate file inside this Git inside this .git folder. Then we'll start creating this. Anyone you want to work on will be the one that will appear. Let's demonstrate it. So that is the concept of Git. The Git is just for you to create a branch of a file without affecting the main file. For example, now, okay, ls, you can see now. This is the two folder we wrote. If I say cat git script, you can see, say welcome to GitLab. That's what is going to happen. So maybe if I save it again, I think it's supposed to give me another. Sometimes it takes time. Okay, look, when I save it again, say echo welcome to GitLab, and the other one says, excuse me, okay. First one says echo welcome to GitLab, Abi. Echo welcome to GitLab.ls. That's what you see here. Let me remove this ls here. Let me keep it here. Okay, now this is the two files that I have created. Always learn how to save. Okay, now let's like this folder now, ls, sorry, if I come here, I say ls, you can only see one file. If I say ls.al, that lists everything here, you see that everything is still going to show that it's just one file that is there. Let me clean up. The ls, you can see ls minus l, you can see is that it's just one file that is there. That file, read, write, execute folder by user. Is the user, my name, this is the user that's created it, which is user. So this is the only file here. Now, you can see there is no Git file here. Now let's commit it to Git. If I say Git init, you have to install Git on your system for you to be able to do this. To install Git is just normal sudo apt install Git for Linux, while for MacBook is a brew install Git to install Git for you. But for you to start Git in any folder, you say Git init. When I say Git init, this is what it's telling me, that it's an empty folder with Git and .git file has been created. If I say ls, you can see if I say ls minus l, you can see we have just one folder, ls minus al. Excuse me. You're supposed to see, you can see ls minus al. You can see I have dot, that's another hidden folder, dot, another hidden folder. This one's a system folder. Then .git, which is the folder I was talking about, and the file we created. So when I say Git init, let me clear my screen again. Hope you can see my screen. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see.
Yes, you are seeing your screen.
Okay, if I say ls minus al, you can see total of 8 files. But before it was just one file. Now I say total of 8 files. You say there's one file called .git. Now let's go to the .git ls. You can see these are the heads. Are you getting me? This is the configuration. This configuration is used when you want to, I told you we have two types of repo. We have a local repo, we have a remote repo. So the things that with this Git we use to authenticate your remote repo is saved, yes, called config. I think it's a folder. Let me see. Okay, it's not a folder, it's a file. Cat config. You can see everything about the configuration file is listed here. Now let's go. You can see all the files there. If I say cat head, I think, let me see, I think this head is let me put this thing here. I think head is a folder. Let me see. You can see it said we only have one folder called main because it was only one file that we've created. So let me clear now. Okay, now I say init, but because I said init, it does not mean that that file that I've created has been given to Git. So for you to give Git anything to hold, you have to commit it. Just like I commit my life into your hands. I commit my love to you. I love you so much. I want to commit my heart to you. I need a committed relationship. The word commit in Git actually means hand over to. I'm in a class. Yes. The word commit actually means hand over to. So this file that I created has not yet been handed over to Git. You understand? So it's just here. So if I say Git status, what does that mean? Mean Git, please, what is the status of you monitoring this file? Maybe I told you a repository is a folder that an application is monitoring, right? Monitoring everything that happens and making sure that everything that is in that file is 100% in control. It's 100% controlled. If I say Git status, I say enter, it will tell you that I actually created a file called gitscript.sh, but I have not given this this file to Git to who. So it's not tracking the file. So for me to track it, for me to say, okay, Git, track this file, we just say Git add. So now the challenge is that to just say Git add is not, it's a very ambiguous statement. I have to say, you will ask me, where is this file? I say Git add here. Dot means here. But if I want to be specific, I can say Git add the name of the file. Because sometimes you don't need to add everything. You just need to add just a particular file you want to monitor. So now if I say Git add dot, I mean every file here, that's meaning of dot. If I say ls now, you see that. If I say Git status, you see it's telling me that I'm monitoring this file right now. It has been staged. Even as you have staged this file, however, you have not yet committed it to me, but I'm aware that there's a file like this you've created. So that is just it. Now, if I say Git commit, I think for you to use Git commit, you must have registered your Git. M means message. You have to give every commit, you have to give it a name. Always use present tense. Don't use always use present tense. Don't use past tense. For example, when I say first commit. So you can see he said now I have given gift one file to who, and inside that file there's 2 lines in the file, and this is the ID he used in creating the Git. This is the name of the file. So if I want to delete this file, either I use this mode. If I want to delete this commit, that's that thing I've written. Okay, now let's say ls now. If I say git branch means how many copies of this file do you have? I say, I think it's -a. I think that is it. Yes. He said, I only have one file or one version of this file, which is called the main. Now let's start again. I say git branch A means, remember I just explained to you what is the branch is, right? A branch is like a copy. So what it's telling me now, what Git is saying now is that at the moment, it's only this first file that I created that is available. So now I want to create this branch. The name of this branch is called dev branch, right? Branch dev. So let me put this thing here, because please, don't really keep space. You don't keep space. So to do that, I will say checkout. I will say git checkout. I say git checkout -b, meaning create a new branch from what is existing and name the branch dev. Enter. What happened is that with this script I just shared now, it will create another version of this file .main, and it will name that branch dev branch. So if I now go back and say, okay, list all the branch, you can see, say I have 2 branches, the main branch, and I have another one called dev branch dev. But right now I'm working on branch dev. Okay, look at it. This notice changes here, right? You can still see from here, you can still see it's still one file. Now let me demonstrate this. If I say, okay, welcome echo, welcome to branch dev, Abi. Dev, then I save it. Then if I say, okay, cut, let's cut. If I cut it, you see that cut means read. This is the reason why we actually focused on Linux. You can say, I say, when I cut it, you can say echo welcome to branch dev. You can see the first one is echo this, echo that. Now let's demonstrate. Let's demonstrate what to show that there's 2 versions of this file here. Now let me add one more line to it. Let me say echo we are testing it. And now let's save it. But I want us to quickly see the difference between both sides. If I say, cards. Let me just clear everything. If I say cat, Git branch, you can say we have 3 now. We have welcome to Git. Well, Git script. This was what is the first version, right? The main version. But in this branch version, we have added 2 to it. Now, these 2, if I say Git add dot, it will add. Then I say Git commit -m. I say dev branch. I say enter. What will happen is that it created this file. Now let's see. Now we have. Now let's compare. Watch. Take note of this upper line. I want to switch now to my former line, to my former branch. But to just do that, I will say git checkout. Git checkout main. It has switched. You can see. Do you see? You see what happened now? You see, I did not delete anything, right? Now, the way am I now is git branch -a. You can see, I'm now in my main branch. In my main branch, this is what I wrote. If I go and check out to the branch dev, you can see the switch. You can see on top now. So what does this mean? Is it means that I can say, let's keep this file. Everybody work on, create any branch from this main file and just enjoy yourself. When you are done, commit it. I will go to your repo and start looking at each of the branch. Anyone that I think is right, you can decide to say, check out. You can decide to say, oh, Patrick, please look at my branch that I'm working on. Or, Patrick, please add this branch that I've worked on. Add it to the main branch. But then what I will do, I will look at what you've done. If it's not something that will bring issue to my infrastructure, I will approve it. Immediately I approve it, I merge it. So this is why Git is one of the most effective version control tools that developers are using. Let me explain deeper. What I want to share with you now is very, very key to DevOps. But that's why Git is a very key to DevOps. For example, we have an application, the developers are working on this application. The lead developer create an application. Then maybe they want to, this is a complete application. These people are saying, okay, you work on the UI. You work on the script that concerns the backend. Are you getting me? So then this is the main. So what they will do, they will create a branch like this, branch like this. Another one will create the same branch from here. Then another one will create another branch from here, from this same branch. So meaning 3 people will be working on the same file. You understand? But it's always advisable that before you commit, you have to say git pull. The reason why you are saying git pull is that when you say git pull, it will go back here and pull the current state, because these guys may be working on it and they may decide to commit, and the PRO is approved, it will be merged. You understand me? PRO means pull request. Pull, the word pull. Request, you understand me? Request, QUST. That's meaning of PRO. You make not permanent resident, please. It's PRO. So this is a pull request. When this one make a pull request is just like an instruction, like asking the person that is leading the team to say, okay, look at what I have done. If it's okay, add it. If it's not okay, tell me. Maybe this person have made the request. And then this person make the request, and the same thing this guy is doing is what this guy is doing. By the time this one try to make back, that line that has been updated, you understand me, and is not in control with this one to tell you that there's an issue. So you always have to make pull request, which is GP, Git pull. Git pull will try to update your repo. Will update your repo, then you can keep working. And then when you are done, you can decide to make another pull request. You understand? To add to this file. So this is the function of Git and GitHub. So we are going to demonstrate pull request after now. But you can decide to create a branch from here. You can decide to create a branch from here. In environment, in a real life scenario, for example, for us as a DevOps, sometimes the developers, maybe we are doing an infrastructure as a code, or we want to deploy, we wrote a Linux script. I want to work on that Linux script. I want to edit that Linux script. It will be bad for me to edit the master Linux script. What I always do, I will create a branch out of the master Linux script and edit it and test it. If it worked, then they will now add it to the master Linux script. That is the reason. In fact, that is just his basic summary of Git and GitHub, of Git. Now, GitHub is the same thing as Git, just that one, you're not using your local Git in your local system. You're using Git that is you're using a folder that is in the cloud. Because this Git community also have a remote server, a remote storage server called GitHub. So you can see this is the remote server. This remote server has, I think I have let me see if I have it here. Oh, okay, excuse me. I always forget let me see if I can still remember. Okay. Hold on. Let me log into I'm using the wrong account. Let's say Git. So it's a simple thing how to create a GitHub account, just like the way you are creating a Facebook account. As a DevOps engineer, you must have a GitHub account. It's a must. It's not something you suggest. It's not something you think about. You must have a GitHub account. You understand me? You must have a GitHub account as a DevOps engineer. So just like the way a photographer must have Instagram account, the same way a DevOps engineer should have a GitHub account, because sometimes there's some instruction you want to do. It's not every time you be carrying your laptop everywhere. But if they are in your GitHub account, your storage, you understand, you can go there and just pull it and continue your work. You understand? That is just the concept. That's the reason why we always recommend everybody, or DevOps engineer, even developers too, also have a GitHub account. So I set up a 2FA for my system, meaning before anybody should log into my system, the Git should send me a code that I can use that will validate. So this is my own GitHub account. So does this mean that everything I have here, I'm the one that created it? No. There are some I fork into my system. There are some that I do. So I'll explain to you the meaning of fork and everything. FORK. You can still see it here. They're all here. Fork. Okay, now let's go back to. So, but just that in this my own GitHub account, I can decide to make it private or public. A public one means anybody can go there and download. Why a private one is that for anybody to be able to log into my to my folder, that is being monitored by Git, which is also known as a repository. The person must have authenticate. Either as a user, either I create a user in my account and give that user permission to use my account, or a request for the SSH key, PEM key. That's what one thing we want to be doing. If time will not permit us to do it today, we'll do it tomorrow. But this is the concept of Git. With this concept of Git that I explained to you, you should be able to revisit that assignment I give and master every other thing. But this is the concept that Git is relying on. Now, any question before we continue? Any question? Any
None
question?
from me. None.
Adiola, any question? Adiola, any question? Judith, any question? Any question, please answer now. Okay.
For me, I have not studied the videos properly, but maybe after I finish studying the video, I will have some questions.
I love it.
It's a video I just watched on. People were fighting because of the lecture, like I'm going to kill us. Using stones and
Hello? I thought he was talking to me.
No question. Sorry about that.
Okay. If there's no question, now we understand the concept of versioning, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So when you say version control, that's what it means. It's just a big grammar. We in the IT, we have a way of using our grammar to confuse people that are not there. When you say version control, that's what it means. No, there's nothing different. Just like there's an application that is creating different file of a particular file. And anytime you want to use the file, it switches that file to the one you are working with. Meanwhile, you also keep the other files in his folder. That's why a Git folder is heavy, because you can have 5, 10, 20, 500 files of that particular file, but you just be switching the one you are working on, able to see. So now let's go straight to the second. How do you get your Git account? How do you have your Git account? First of all, you install Git. How many of us have Git in your system?
I do.
Okay. Wow, I'm not enjoying this response.
I have it installed.
I'm not enjoying this response. Judith, are you in a class? Are you in another class? Diola Olufemi. Moses.
Yeah, I'm responding. I said I do have. Yeah, I have Git on my system.
Okay.
I think the other said she's on transit.
Okay. Sil, do you have Git on your system? Okay, let's look at the class, the thing I shared. The assignment, this particular one, this take home that I shared. This one alone should be able to give you everything you need. So to know if there's Git in your system, you just type Git version. There's either here or in your terminal or your VS Code. Let's say Git version, we tell you the version that you have. Then if you want to, that's for then I think, hold on. That's for Git. Then if you want to this is the version you have. Then if you want to install, to connect Git remotely, you know what I mean by connect Git remotely? That you want to link your Git to your GitHub account. This is what you do. You have to come here. Everything is just simply put here. You have to configure your Git. First of all, create your Git account. You know how to create a Git account. Normally, just go to github.com. When you go to github.com, then from github.com, you can, on github.com, just normal creation. And interestingly, the way it's very fun. You tell you, let's try and create one. I think let's create one. If you've not created, just come here and just say, don't forget, I said GitHub is just like a storage, a remote storage. Most company uses GitHub because they feel it is very easy for you to just have a centralized storage where everybody can go and just pull out code and use. Like this one, this is telling me to use my, I already have, okay, I created another one. I have so many Git account, Jerry. Yes, I should go to my account, hold up. Which one is this one? Okay, now let's assume you want to sign in to Git. You just go to github.com. Okay, let's allow one person to follow through. But Moses, please share your screen. Let me enable. Everybody share your screen and create your Git account. Then before we go into Git merge, Git rebase, Git hard.
Patrick?
I can hear you. Please share your screen.
Yeah, I have a GitHub account already.
Okay. What about his? Do you have a GitHub account?
Yeah, I do have a GitHub account. I have.
You have. Okay. Everybody have a GitHub account, right?
Yes, I have mine.
Oh, fantastic. So we can skip that class. Okay. Hold on. Let me log into my stuff. Now that we already have a GitHub account, what next should we do? Let's sync our local Git to our main Git. Is that okay? Should we do that?
Okay.
Okay. How do you do that? You say git config. It's under Git configuration. In this class, can you see my screen? Let me show.
No.
That's one of the things I said. I enjoyed Git because in Git you can. There's nothing you do. It's very easy for you to just do your Git. It's very easy. Git is something you can do a day. To initiate Git, you said Git config, global config. Let me see if it's here. Contribute, fork, reverse. You can see this is just everything, which you can do in one day to install Git. This is how to configure your Git. So you say Git config -- global. When you say global, you are configuring your global. That means your email, your general email. Understand me? That is what Git is all about. Your general email, your own general email. That's Git config -- global. You understand? Then Git config -- global. The username, user.name, the username you use in creating your GitHub. Then the email you use in creating your GitHub. What it does is that it sync your Git account, are you getting me, with your local system. However, that alone is not enough. You also have to link your Git private repo, either by creating a user or by adding an SSH key. Now go to how to connect to it. I told you Git have two accounts, right? We have the private repo, we have the public repo. Let me demonstrate this private and public repo. Okay, excuse me. Now this is, if I go to my account here, profile, you can say your repository. Repository, I told you what's a repository. It's talking about, this one is my profile. This one will tell me about my name, my phone number, and everything. These are my folders that I have in a storage cloud called GitHub. This is your organization. My organization, for example, if I join any company now, the company may say, okay, use your own Git account. But what's your username and password? We want to add your username and password to our Git company account. So you can have an organization account. So what does that mean? It means that if I have an organization, then I just authenticate and they had my email, my Git to their stuff. It means that I can have access to all their code. For example, now let me see, do I have any organization? I don't think I have any organization. Okay, I have one organization. This is my cloud enthusiast. I created this organization and I can decide to, so for right now, do we have any folder? No. So I can decide to add people to this organization. People, I only have 3 people, and I can decide to add anybody to it. Let's say invite member. I'll ask you, what's your email address? Can somebody just give me give me your email address. Please give me one of your Git repo. Those of you that have Git repo. As a matter of fact, since you guys said
Moses Borio.
Moses
Borio.
you right?
Moses, yeah.
Can see.
Yes.
That you actually have. So if I say invite now, so now it's asking me, which role am I giving this person? Will I give this person as a owner, or I should give him as a member? Let me say as a member. Send to you. So immediately you accept it, I can decide to improve your role. Yeah. Yes, I mean, then the source code, or source code management, or only the source code that members are in. Then I can decide to elevate your status. There's a group I already have called members. That's the group. So if I want to give you more role, I can go to that group and increase their role. But we have members group. This is the group. Have you accepted, Abby? Have you accepted?
Yes, I've accepted.
So if you accepted, if I go to members now and say you are here. Now you say you have 2FA, you can see. So if I have a company now, I can call the company Cloud Enthusiast. This is what the general company is. Then from here, I can decide to give permission. I can decide to change your permission, or you understand, and change your role. If I give you a owner's role, it means that you have the right to edit and to download. Understand me? But I can decide to convert to outside contributor and reduce your power. So this is how companies work. Now I've enforced it that everybody must have 2FA. So if you don't have any 2FA, you will not be able to function. But you already have, all of us already have 2FA. So that is it. So you guys are going to create a group. You're going to create a group. All of you are going to be in one group since we are just 7. And in that group, you're going to create one file. Create one file, then just play around. Those source codes that we were doing, that we did last 2 classes, all those codes, one file that can create 5 files, you still have them, right? If you still have them, just put them here. Okay, now let's talk about how do you create. You can start to create a project. Create a project. This is the company stuff. Now let's move back to me. Let me switch, sign in as me. This is me. That one was the company. This is now me. So from here, I can come here and Okay. Okay, now let's go. I can come here now and say, okay. This is my repo. You can see, Ola Bash. I can create a new repo, meaning a folder. You understand me? You can see the folder is my email and slash. I can call it cloud training for enthusiasts Feb. You understand? Then I come here, I can see also Feb class. I can try to make it private and public. This is public, this is private. If it's public, meaning anybody can have access to, everybody can see it. If I say private, meaning it's only people that are in my organization that I've given permission to that can see it. Now, do I want to write README? This README file, readme.md is the file where you explain everything that code is going to do. That's called README file. Git ignore, there are some sensitive information that I want to keep. That anybody that want to download this file, Git should ignore that file. It should not monitor that file. It should not add that file to the repo. The name of the link is what I'm going to put in that Git ignore file. This time, so now the license. I want everybody to have a license. I want to make sure that this application is license controlled. You can start to keep it different license. And then I'll say create repo. So this one is now a folder. Just like the way I create a folder in my system, just that this folder that I create now already have init on it. Git init has already been committed on it. Initiate commit, you understand? So automatically I already have a folder. Okay, now let's still go back. I want to create another folder, also known as repo, and I want that repo to be public. I come here, I also call it cloud training for enthusiasts, pub, and Feb. Then I come here, I can give it a description, I call it public, and I click keep readme file, and git ignore, and say enter. Now, if I go to all my repos, now you see that the two files I created, they're all here. This one I created now, one is private, one is public. Understand me? Now, for me to work on this public, it's simple. Just for me to click here, you can see it. One thing I love about Git, to tell you everything, how you're going to be able to do it there. Like I said, for me to use public, it's just for me to come here and say Git clone. Because if I say come here, I can start to download the zip folder. Yes, but it's not best advised. It's best advised to use in production environment. You don't use this. You use this. Okay, now let's do something. Your first thing you did, the Git will tell you how you can use it. To make your first commit. Make your first commit. What you will do, you say, this is a pull request, this is action now. Let me see. I want to bring this file down. Let's use this. Since it's a public file, I can just come here. I say git clone. Git clone means, the word clone means go to the internet, go to the repository, and take a copy of the Git and keep it in my system. I mean what clone. Git clone, go to .git. This is my account, Abby. This is the file name. I click enter. It will go and download it. If I say ls, you can, oh, what I did is totally wrong. It's not good to clone a file, but it's here. Let's find the name of the file. This is the file here, but I'm removing it here because it's not best practice. ROM, CT, yeah, sorry, ROM. Let me go to my folder, CD doc, then CD pilot, ready? Pilots and others. Now, I'm here now, right? Left, ls, you can see. Let's go back. CD dots ls. GitLab test. Okay, in this pilot now you can see I have. Okay. Now let's clone this file here. Let's enter GitLab. Now let's clone the file. Let's say git clone. It will not be nice for me to clone file here because there's already git inside here. So let's say git dash git clone URL. So we have two folders. The one I created locally, the one I created with from the internet. There's a CD cloud training for enthusiasts. You can see the file, only one file we have here, which is, see, this is the only file here, README file. I'll put my README file. There's nothing inside the README file. Okay. I'll come here. ls, sorry. ls, then if I say git, let's create a file now. Let's say, well, just call it file. Let's say git touch. Touch GitHub lab. What else? Now we have two files now. Now that git, let's create another file. This one, let's call it a file now. Say touch git dot, let's call it a Python file py. Then come here, you can see we have two files here. Then I come here, GitLab. This is the file. Then if I say GitLab, now let's write something here. Let's say Ojuko Kuro. Or let's write a real Python script. Get a real Python script. Let's call it print this is not a function. Let's create a function. Print welcome to GitLab. Sorry. Projects. You see, the reason why it's giving me all this stuff because I already installed Python. So now I save it. Now let's come here. Now I have a file now. Now if I say git add, it's adding to my repo. If I say git commit, I'm saying testing GitHub. Then enter. Sorry, it's a mistake. Control C. I open it. I didn't close it now. That's created. If I say git push, it will give me an error. I'm going to say allow. I'm going to ask me to authenticate virtual. So now let's go to the repo we created just now. Where is our Git repo? Okay. So what does that mean? It means now that my Git file is up to date. You are being redirected to authorized application. The browser does not redirect back. Okay, now if you can come here and you can see the files I created, they are all here. So what does this mean? That I can decide to push a file, create a file locally and save it here. I can decide to create a file here, but I was able to do this because it was a public. You understand me? I was able to do this because it is a public file. It's a public repo. But if it's a private repo, I will not be able to do it. I will have to ask for authorization. I'll be able to answer for authorization. So I was able to do this. So if you guys try and play around with public repo. And public repo, for example, apart from us, most big companies like AWS, because AWS is a very big company, right? So they will need to put their repo in a public place so that everybody can go there and learn. For example, now say Terraform. This is a Terraform source code for how to create S3 bucket. Understand me? Is owned by AWS, but they are using Git. So for me to copy all this file, instead of me to download this file in my local system and download it and push it back, I'll just come here and say fork. I say fork, we say again, we're going to keep a copy of it. Let's say test. So I say copy to master branch. So what will happen is that everything in that folder that I saw just now, the last commit that was done, to copy it into my own file, you can see. So I can decide to work on this to where I like. That's the advantage of Git. If it was not Git, I have to go to somebody's file and download and now upload again. Now with the help of Git, I can just fork it and to keep a copy in my own repo. So this is for public repo, but private repo, most times to fork it like this, it's not that easy, but it's possible, but I must have an access to that repository. So I think we'll stop here. Tomorrow, we'll focus on private repo and we'll focus on that thing. So I'm going to give you a little assignment to do this week and master this Git and GitHub. Then from there, we'll move into every other, the most interesting part. So let me stop here. I think today we just did the introduction on Git, GitHub, explain what Git is all about, the function of a Git, why using Git, how Git is here to work, how to fork, how to move around Git environment, how to have an organization, how to have people to organization. Understand me? But tomorrow I'm going to talk about how to connect to your private repo, how to use a private repo, which most companies do, and things you should avoid, things you should not avoid. Then I'm going to give you a course to do this week. If you're able to do that course successfully, you guys should be very good in Git. You cannot move to the next class. So for today, I think we'll stop here.